Did you know that the 2025 MLBB Midseason Cup just smashed records? 3,067,670 peak live viewers and over 50 million hours watched. A gain of almost 29% in peak viewership over the prior year. And that in 2024, MLBB racked up more than 475 million watch hours worldwide, making it the most watched mobile esports title globally. If you think MLBB is cooling off, think again. It's accelerating. In this video, we dive deep into what that means for the future of MLBB esports, the opportunities, the obstacles, and where the game is headed next. Welcome back to Mobile Legends News. If you're passionate about esports, MLBB is arguably one of the most thrilling stories out there. Fast-paced gameplay, massive regional fandoms, and an esports ecosystem growing by leaps and bounds. Unlike many PC or console titles, MLBB combines the accessibility of mobile gaming with serious competitive structure. Tournaments like Mid-Season Cup, World Championships or the M-Series, MPL circuits, and recently even women's leagues are making MLBB not just a game, but a major esports brand globally. Let's explore what's next. MLBB Esports is on fire, but growth always comes with hurdles. For all the record-smashing viewership and soaring watch hours, there are serious challenges that could hold back MLBB from reaching its full potential. Let's break some of these down. Number 1. Market saturation and competition. The mobile MOBA esports landscape is increasingly crowded. Not only are there other mobile MOBAs and clones vying for attention in Southeast Asia, South Asia, and Latin America, etc., but also rising competition from games like auto battlers, battle royales, and even hyper-casual games. MLBB has to continuously innovate, not only in hero balance patches and skins, but also in tournament formats, production quality, and broadcasting platforms. Viewers and players have more choices than ever, which means complacency is dangerous. Number 2 is retention of players and pro talent. Having over 110 million monthly active players and more than 1.4 billion downloads shows scale. But converting that into long-term competitive engagement is a different ballgame. Many players drop off, either because of matchmaking issues, skill gaps, or inconsistent support. For pro players, stability such as team contracts, funding, and infrastructure is still uneven across regions. Without strong regional training academies, infrastructure, and clear career paths, emerging talent may burn out, move away, or leave esports entirely. Number 3 is infrastructure and regional inequality. Some regions have solid esports infrastructure, while others lag behind. Internet reliability, latency, server quality, these affect both practice and online tournament fairness. In many places with more limited resources, pro teams struggle with travel costs, sponsorships, and lack of facilities. Even within big MLBB markets such as PH, Indonesia, and Malaysia, there's disparity between the MPL level and smaller grassroots or unranked players. Infrastructure includes not just physical such as PCs, venues, and phones, but also regulatory, broadcast support, and financial backend. And finally, number 4, global recognition and standardization. MLBB has taken steps, like inclusion in the 2026 Asian Games as a medaled event, more structured women's leagues, such as the Philippines Women's MLBB League launching in 2026, but turning that into consistent global recognition is complex. Standardizing rules, anti-cheat systems, fair play, broadcast quality, and enabling cross-region competitions in a way that's fair and commercially viable are still works in progress. But if you think MLBB Esports has peaked, you might want to hold your recall button for a second, because the next few months are looking like a lord fight in sudden death over time. From October 2025 onward, the game's competitive scene is gearing up for what could be its most defining chapter yet. Moonton isn't slowing down, and neither are the regions that have turned this mobile MOBA into a global phenomenon. Starting this October, the MPL circuits are heating up once again. Take MPL Singapore Season 10, which runs from October 4 to November 2. On paper, the prize pool is about 30,000 USD, and it doesn't sound massive. But the impact on local scenes is enormous. These national leagues act like talent farms, feeding new stars into the international spotlight. Think of them as the college basketball of MLBB, where hungry rookies learn to dunk before heading to the big leagues. And with Moonton confirming that MPLs will continue in 2 yearly splits, March to June and August to September, this late year period becomes the breeding ground for the world's next best contenders. But the tremors from the 2025 Mid-Season Cup or MSC are still shaking the ground. That tournament didn't just draw in over 3 million peak viewers. It placed MLBB firmly among the elite global esports titles, sharing the same stage as giants like League of Legends and Dota 2 during the Esports World Cup or EWC 2025 in Riyadh. The integration of MLBB into the EWC isn't just symbolic. It gave the title a front row seat at the table of mainstream esports recognition. The ripple effects will be felt for months. Organizations are already renegotiating contracts, scouting international players, and reshaping training budgets. If the MSC was the mid-year climax, the following months are the dramatic aftermath. Think of it as the post-credit scene that sets up for the sequel. Speaking of sequels, all eyes are now on the M7 World Championship, officially scheduled on January 2026. Moonton's decision to push it slightly later means that the final stretch of 2025, especially October through December, is no longer downtime. It's the prelude. Every MPL playoff match, every regional final suddenly matters 100 times more, because the teams who rise now will carry that momentum straight into the world stage. The energy around it feels a bit like watching a storm gathering at sea. You know the M7 hurricane is coming. You just don't know which coast it's going to hit the hardest. While everyone's laser focused on M7, another storyline is quietly building in parallel. The SEA Games 2025 in Thailand. MLBB is returning as a medaled event, and for the first time ever, both men's and women's divisions are officially included. That means we're about to see esports athletes standing on podiums beside swimmers and sprinters, with national flags rising and anthems playing. The potential ripple effect is massive. Government funding, university programs, and mainstream sports coverage could follow. And that's before we even get into how the women's leagues like the newly found MPL PH Women's Division are empowering a whole new wave of talent and representation. It's not just competition, it's culture change in motion. Of course, MLBB isn't putting all its eggs in Moonton's basket. The Snapdragon Pro Series powered by ESL Faceit Group is adding another turbo boost to its ecosystem. Their Mobile Masters event in Jakarta later this year will bring together 12 of the world's best squads. It's the equivalent of a friendly but fierce scrimmage between top fighters from different anime universes. Canon or not, the power scaling is insane. These third-party events keep the meta fresh, give up-and-coming teams a shot at redemption, and sometimes even produce unexpected champions who shake up the established hierarchy. Meanwhile, Moonton's expansion strategy is pushing into new frontiers faster than a roaming Gronk. In 2025, they announced a partnership with the Azerbaijan Esports Federation, planting its first seeds for a competitive ecosystem there. Imagine the hype when a Team Baku eventually shows up at an MSC wildcard and surprises everyone. Over in China, MLBB's long-awaited entry is finally gaining traction. An enormous development considering the country's esports infrastructure and sheer player base. If China launches its own MPL-style league, it could tilt the global balance overnight, the same way Korea did for StarCraft back in the day. And in North America, the NA Challenger Tournament or NACT just wrapped up its 2025 season, with Moonton promising a full revamp and return in 2026. It's a quiet year for the region, But that pause might be the calm before a new wave of revitalized competition. Behind the curtains, the off-season is becoming a transfer market circus worthy of its own Netflix series. With the MSC and MPL seasons wrapping up, star players are getting courted like free agents in the NBA. Expect mid-season trades, region-crossing contracts, and sudden roster bombs on social media. If you've ever seen your favorite hero get nerfed out of nowhere, that's the emotional equivalent of seeing your team captain suddenly join a rival roster. Now, none of this comes without its fair share of risks. Overscheduling could burn out players and production teams alike. Sponsors might pull back if returns flatten. Regulations, internet reliability, and regional politics can still throw wrenches into the system. And, of course, the ever-looming challenge: sustaining excitement without oversaturating audiences. It's a bit like balancing a Lord fight. You can't rush it, but if you hesitate too long, someone else will steal it. Still, when you zoom out and look at the big picture, the future of MLBB esports feels electric. The combination of record-breaking viewership, global expansion, new competitive divisions, and consistent tournament structure paints the picture of a scene evolving, not fading. Moonson seems determined to transform MLBB from Southeast Asia's favorite pastime into a truly global esport, one capable of standing shoulder to shoulder with PC giants on the world stage. The MLBB esports scene is standing at a crossroads. Bigger audiences, global expansion, new regions, and rising competition are shaping its destiny. From the upcoming MPL seasons and M7 World Championship to the growing women's leagues and new territories, the key to long-term success lies in adaptation and evolution. The organizations, players, and fans who embrace these changes will define the next era of Mobile Legends, not just as a game, but as a worldwide phenomenon. So, what do you think the future of MLBB esports looks like? Will it dominate globally or face tougher competition ahead? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to check out our next video on Mobile Legends news, where we break down the upcoming hero reworks and meta shifts. Till next time!